There are certain factors that will increase resistance or decrease resistance in a conductor. The first factor is length. Now, the length of a wire affects resistance. The longer the wire, the greater the resistance. Now, if you are traveling a long route and then someone is traveling a shorter route, what is going to happen is that the person traveling the shorter route will arrive at the destination before the person traveling at the longer distance. Now, when it comes to current, if the current is traveling through a shorter wire, the current will get to the other side quicker than the current that is traveling through a longer wire. Now, resistance is only ensuring that the flow of the current is prevented. So if it is going to move a shorter distance, what is going to happen is that no matter the resistance, the current will move faster. So if you have a longer wire, the length of the wire alone is going to prevent the current from reaching its destination faster. And therefore, we say that length affects resistance. The longer the wire, the greater the resistance. The second one is thickness of the substance, or thickness or cross-sectional area. Now, if you have a thicker wire, what is going to happen is that more charges can move at the same time. So here, if we are going to have like 3 streams of charges, in the thinner wire, we could have only 2 streams of charges. If more charges are moving at a time, then what is going to happen is that a lot of current can be carried. But if only a few charges are moving at a time, what is going to happen is that very little current can be carried. Therefore, the thicker the distance, or the bigger the cross-sectional area, the smaller the resistance. The thinner the wire, the greater the resistance. Next point is the type of conductor. Now, different types of conductors have different resistivity. If you take nichrome has a very high resistance, 110 times 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meters. Now, if you take copper has only 1.72 times 10 to the power minus 8. Now, this will explain why copper is used in wires and not nichrome. The reason is because for copper, it has a very low resistance as compared to nichrome. So different materials have different forms of resistance. And then lastly, temperature. The hotter the temperature, or the hotter the substance, the greater the resistance. So if you have a very hot substance, it has high resistance. Now, all this said, the first thing we talked about is the length. If you want to have high resistivity or smaller resistivity, the wire should be shorter. For high resistivity, the wire should be longer. The second thing we talked about was thickness of the wire. Thicker wires conduct more current. Thinner wires conduct less current. So thicker wires have less resistivity. The third point is the type of conductor, and then the last point is the temperature.